morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. The one, the only, the big A, Anthony Stabile, Andy Sterling. How are you today?
Well, there's a building about 8.5 miles from here that is also known as the Big A. But I guess I'm the only human one,
We were
right?
supposed to be there in a couple weeks, but we're going to hang out here an extra week. So
Yeah.
we've got 2 more weeks at Belmont. I will not be in next week, but I will be back for that weekend. Anthony will be with
Cavalcade of Stars next week. I believe it's Maggie, Acacia, and Greg Wolf.
Wow, it's going to be incredible. Each one of them.
It
having
takes
to
3
field-
people to fill your role.
Apparently
Isn't
it
that
does.
not unbelievable?
I don't think
it takes
all-
3 people to fill my seat. It takes 3 people to fill your role.
I don't think they'll all 3 be here at the same time, though. 3 different people, 3 different days.
Well,
4
I'm
different
tough to deal with, Andy.
You're the easiest. Nobody easier than you. Good job today navigating our trip to Belmont.
I mean, it's
not your fault.
Getting some
Not
work
your
done
fault.
here.
You're
but
trying to
I
do
was
the right
given,
thing.
given terrible information as usual.
Yeah, well,
Another tip that
more
was down the tubes.
bad
Yes,
racetrack
more bad
information. It's
racetrack
not just
info.
about horses. Actually, your tip ran well. The horse from the tip the time before finished second at Big Price.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Anyhow,
did.
head over to
She.
NyraBets.com if you're not a member of Nyra Bets. Use that promo code CUP25, $25 free play on the Breeders' Cup, as well as a $200 deposit match. Play through Nyra Bets. Keep the money in the game and support racing in New York. Who is Joe Rosario riding in that race? That
Let's Nick Sko.
2? Oh, that's Nick Sko right there. He could be the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Classic. I think he'll be the favorite over
Probably
Essential
will be,
Quality,
right?
I would think he would be. It's pretty close, I think.
Between him and who?
Essential Quality.
No.
Oh, Essential Quality's got a lot of love for Essential Quality, Anthony.
All right.
Don't you think?
I think Nick Sko will be the favorite.
I do too, but I think it'll be close.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I a lot of love for Essential Quality. A lot of love up here for Hot Rod Charlie.
It'll be a good race.
Yeah, it will be a good race. Anyway, what
Less
else
than
we
2
got?
weeks away.
50-50-50, Belmont, Woodbine, Gulfstream. Opt in. Took full advantage of that 20% exacta bonus yesterday. You get a $50 bonus, win or lose. If you opt in, you bet at least $50 on all 3 of those racetracks. Finally, last but not least, 12:30 to 2 on FS2, 2 to 5:30 on FS1. Sunday, October 24th, America's Day at the Races, covering all the action from Belmont Park. Speaking of the action from Belmont Park. So, I'm going to say something about the first race. Anthony, you probably need to... I know, but that's why I've told you this 100 times. You need to list both halves of the entry somewhere.
Well, I just put one.
No, you don't put one. You put 1A first, 1X third.
Okay.
It's not that much
All right.
work here. We've been through this before. So what would your selections be here? Because I know you didn't leave
1A,
the 1A completely
1A
out.
754.
Okay. I've told you this. People know that I've discussed this with
Yes,
you on
you have.
numerous
Yes, you have.
occasions. You've
Okay.
got to list them both.
Okay.
Or not. This case may be. I got to tell you something.
We know I did not
They
list this one.
they scratched the stronger half of this entry. There is no doubt investment
You
income.
really think so?
Well, unlike you, I happened to watch Ballot Initiative's last race. Now, that really says more about how pathetic my life is than yours. Because, well, there were 2 Klarovich horses in there, and I was watching to see how they actually watched it live. I'm going to tell you
Wow.
something. The Broke Open Gate, this horse did not run well. I'm telling you, this horse didn't run well. And for a horse that looked like he was pretty promising, he ran very well. I thought in his
She.
first start, she did, excuse me. Thank you for that. And even reasonable in her second start. She was not good last time. The one, I think you would agree, the 1X was the stronger half of this entry. No?
Based on the race at the Meadowlands, yes, I would probably agree with that.
Well, that is her most recent race. Investment Income's last race, she was chasing outside against a good rail. The problem with the race is, where the heck do you go if you don't want them? Never Content runs figures that are good enough, but they're in better races, but never really makes an impact in the races. Gailhorse Wynn's gotten kind of ridiculous, and I'm not really sure that she wants to go longer. And I guess Wicked Happy can win. She was a little against the track last time, inside early. It was the gold rail period, moved out. But she's also had a million chances. So you end up with this one. But this is the weaker half of the entry.
Wicked and Wicked Happy for me would be the alternative here, just for the simple fact that I'm hoping a little aggression. Last time I
Junior is going to be sending her. He
Andy,
loves to go.
Andy, hold on a second.
He gets in the morning. He goes, I hope I'm on a few horses today to have the lead so I can be sitting 5th with
Man,
him.
you don't stop.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
But, I mean, if you look at this horse's form, and
I could not agree with you more.
And last time,
I couldn't agree with you more. She's
Last
supposed
time
to be
the
forward.
tactics
She won't be, but she
probably
should
cost
be.
this horse.
Except Salino has some speed, and you never know if Jose Lezcano. Listen, I got
I
one.
mean, I would assume Little
Isn't
Nutter
Luis Saez going with Never Content?
I would assume Little Nutter is going to be forward. Little Nutter was forward last time and went quick enough.
You're assuming horses are going to be forward?
Hey, listen, man.
You think they might be forward. They theoretically could be forward. I don't disagree with you. I'm not. Yeah, the problem is between specifically any of the 5, 6, 7, and 8, any of them show speed. So what's going to happen is one
The
of
other
them's going to
three will
go,
take off the pace.
and the other 3 are just going to be happy being where they usually are, which is rating and having no chance to win.
Well, then you have to be.
Look at the stake yesterday.
You have to be the aggressor.
Kendrick went and snatched a Rooney after that, right?
You and I would win a lot of races on the front end here.
Well, I wouldn't win a race because I'm afraid of getting on a horse. But other than that, I'm good at critiquing the rides.
You never rode a horse? Not a racehorse, but you never did like pony rides or anything?
I think as a little kid, my family was the Grand Canyon or something, and I may have gotten on a burro. That could have been it. Maybe it was a harrowing experience that I've sort of buried deep, and that's why
It could have been.
I just like to make fun of people that ride them, that have the courage to ride them. Race number 2. I'm with you on the 1A. I got to tell you, this horse's race was not good last time.
No.
Race number 2. Race
The
number
deuce.
2. The thing about race number 2 is you got a bunch coming out of the race, and we'll show that race, and I'll explain to you why I take Winning Drive was the one who finished the worst of them. This was a day when I think there's a real possibility, especially early, that all the races were dominated by outside movers. And Winning Drive was right down the rail here, involved in a pace that collapsed. I don't know where Joyce Azaz a race got this race from, and he's going to do it again and beat me if he does. But
too.
he did run last time, and I can't deny it. The others just sucked up. Flower Lisa did get kind of a ridiculous trip and could be more forward. It is a race that, as of recent races, is completely devoid of speed. I'd like to see Jose Lezcano be aggressive in this race off the claim, go to the lead, and I think the horse was hampered by the racetrack last time. That's
Okay.
why I picked him.
Okay.
You don't agree, which is fine.
Well, yeah. I tried him a couple of times,
Okay.
and I know what you mean. I know last time you're bringing up the point about how it was more of an outside flow, and I kind of get it. I kind of had enough.
Oh, okay, why do you like the 3? It's fine. You don't like the 2. That's fine.
You know,
I'm good with it.
I
can live with myself.
I hate defaulting into a favorite, but this is a claim back for actress, and I had nowhere else to go in here. And I know that's the worst excuse. To
It
pick
is.
horses.
It's
gonna
an excuse
be
to pick the
8-5.
favorite, right.
It's the worst excuse in the world, but
He's
you
the
know,
horse to beat.
He's the horse to beat now. I would think, if we're looking at an overall body of work, Flowers for Lise is probably the horse to beat.
No, she's not. He's not.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
As Inspector Clouseau would say.
But I think Christian Ramos is going to be aggressive with Flowers for Lisa today, and I almost flipped these two.
He won't be less aggressive than the rider was last time.
And that's,
I have no idea he's going to be aggressive. I have no idea. You could be right, but I have no idea.
I'm assuming the kid's going to try
Forgetting
to,
about all that because we're guessing about stuff we can't have. The problem with Storm Advisory is the horse was claimed for $20,000, came back against Tougher, and didn't run that badly. And Rob Atras can't dump this horse for 12.5 fast enough. It's like he's saying, "Please get this horse out of my barn before we go to Aqueduct." I get it. I understand the claiming game. This horse didn't run that badly last time, and I know he's going to get out if the horse wins and he gets claimed. All that nonsense, but he's the horse to beat. It's still a little smelly.
I
to
don't
me.
disagree. Listen, I don't disagree with you, but you mentioned the claiming game. It's about churning and moving on, especially for a guy like Bob Bone who has a million.
He's the horse
horses.
to beat. I don't trust him. You trust him more than I do. I've got him second. I
don't
wouldn't
trust
leave him
I
out
don't
of a
trust
play.
any of them.
I agree. It's impossible to. I think Winning Drive is dressed down from his last race and is better than he looks.
Okay.
Moving on to race number 3. A funny race number 3. We'll take a look at the horses coming out of the same race, Ansel and Baj. I actually thought Baj might have run the better race of the 2 in here. This race was coming apart a bit towards the end, was involved sort of with the winner of this race. It wasn't a very good race, but they may have found themselves in a bad race today. I'm not sure why you have the 7 on top and don't have the 10 right behind them. I mean, I know that Savvy Joseph isn't winning. He did win the stake yesterday.
He did. I thought this horse kind of had an easy time of it first time out in Saratoga.
Why?
Just
That race didn't hold together. That was a quick early pace. I thought the horse ran well.
I thought the horse ran terribly last time.
Agreed, but going to Kentucky Downs, I mean, it was wide against the gold rail, so I'm willing to forgive that effort. This horse was against it last time. I think they're coin flips, the 7 and 10. I don't know how you could have one first and one not in the top 4. That's a little tough, isn't it?
I guess. I didn't like the horse's effort last time out.
Well, but once again, the horse was way against the track last time, just as the winner of the stake was yesterday, who I didn't like either. But these were horses that were against the track. Okay, we disagree. You like Ansel because it's Bill Mott.
I like Ansel because listen. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't have and I almost again another one where I almost flipped, but I saw that you would actually pick the one. I'm hoping this horse with the 10 weeks gets a little more mature because this breaking, getting away from there, albeit it really had neither were that bad. You're going to have to start getting out of the gate, and especially going shorter now, going to 7. I'm hoping this horse just matures a little bit and gets can get away from there cleanly. Okay. I thought a race last time was good enough to beat these horses.
I got one I really want to bet you on. You don't have the 10 anywhere. You have the 5 third. Can I bet you 3 lunches? I don't remember. Did we have some bet the other day?
No, we don't do.
I want to bet you the 10 beats the 4. 5.
The 5.
10 beats the 5.
I'll bet you a lunch.
1 lunch. Okay. Yeah. The 5 can't run.
I think you're wrong now. I think the blinkers are going to help this horse.
Do they come equipped with an engine?
Think the blinkers?
Do they come equipped with something that like gets the legs moving faster?
Again,
this horse was awful
especially with the young. Yeah, but this horse was kind of bothered leaving out of there, and I think the blinkers will help this horse get away from there more cleanly.
This horse wasn't bothered coming out of there. Horse broke a step.
Didn't break
wasn't
well.
Bothered. Caused his own problems. There's a big difference.
Okay.
And you're the guy that's always against horses that cause their own problems. This horse is going to run. Okay, I get it, but this horse comes out of a terrible race where did no running.
Okay.
Hey, in this race, I won't be shocked if anybody wins. I just think the
say.
bottom is better. Having said all that, so if we're against all these horses, why are we way against the 4 side dog? Why wouldn't you want to Slumber?
We're not.
Slumber, well, you've got him 4th. So you are against him. You are against him, which is fine, but you're against him. He's a Slumber. Slumber's was bred to about 10 horses, and they're all running.
That's all crazy.
They're all running.
Yep.
So, the Dam won 2 of 8 races. I'm going to tell you something. This could be the most dangerous horse in the race, frankly. This is not a strong field. I agree with you. And that's why I picked the one, Dr. Brown's Miracle. Dr. Brown's Miracle was at least forward in a good field against Slipstream, who buried the field. By the way, those fractions and times are completely inaccurate. They were not as slow as they were. You can go to Trackers and look them up. I've looked them up. I didn't write them down in my paper, but they are completely inaccurate. It wasn't 23 and 4:47. It was significantly faster, and the final time was almost a second faster. This horse ran. And gets a rider switch to Jose Lezcano, and I thought Dr. Brown's Miracle is very dangerous in this race second time out.
I'm with you.
This was a big likely improvement. I'm using the 1 and 4. I agree with you. 7 and 10 can win. I don't like that race they're coming out of. And I think Ansel's going to get bet. And
I probably should have the 4 third.
I don't see what is so good about Ansel.
No,
I mean,
you're right.
Frankly.
Now, I know it's spelled differently, but are you a Dr. Brown's cream soda fan?
Oh, I could go the whole
celery
rainbow
soda, the whole
of,
thing.
of,
It's
of Dr.
phenomenal,
Brown.
right?
That's right. I agree.
Yeah.
We used to be able to get Dr. Brown's cream. Was it Aqueduct?
I think it was downstairs. I think you're right. I think they had it downstairs.
Yeah.
In the jocks room.
Yeah, but I think they had it somewhere else. You know what I miss? French food stand. They had those Oranginas.
Mel.
Those French food stand.
One of the biggest NBA fans I remember.
Really?
Yeah, we used to. I followed religiously back then. We were both big Bulls fans.
I love the French
Jordan.
food stand.
It was great. The French hot dogs they had.
Yeah, the chicken salad and the.
I can get you those
salad.
French hot dogs. You can make them at home.
I like the chicken salad, and they had that great. They had those little tomatoes they put on. It's good. I'm sure there's people here who remember that. Good stuff.
It was great. First floor, right before you walked out to the.
I have an opinion in race number 4.
You like Miles D?
I think Miles D looks pretty good in here. We'll take a look at him finishing second in the Curlin in his last start.
Going out on that limb, Andy. Holding both
right.
of us.
I don't want to.
It better be a strong branch.
This could be a best bet of the day.
Lock of the day?
This could be the best. I could be wrong. He looks pretty good in here. What do you think? I like that Chad Brown didn't go to the Pennsylvania Derby, and he was patient, and he was aggressive when at the right time in Saratoga. And by the way, this horse ran very well in both the Curlin and the Travers.
He sure did.
And now you take a step back, and whether or not this race becomes a prep maybe for a race like the Discovery at Aqueduct, I guess if he ran huge, you consider the Clark, but I don't really think they're going to do that. But this is a pretty good horse, and he has a chance if he can step forward. He's obviously got to get much faster, and there's a possibility that next year's older stakes group is pretty tough at this point. Of course, this horse could take a step forward and maybe be in that group.
He's the kind of horse where you think there's some blue sky here. The way he's
You'd like to.
Right? I mean,
lightly raced.
Second start off the layoff, he runs a bang-up second in the Curlin. Third start, he runs well enough behind You know, the horse that's going to be the 3-year-old champ in Essential Quality.
No, he's not. It's going to be Hot Rod Charlie when he wins the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Wow. Sterling calling his shot?
Well, you said he's going to be. How about he's the favorite? He's the current favorite for the 3-year-old champ. You don't think Hot Rod Charlie could win the Breeders' Cup Classic?
You think if he wins the Classic, he takes the title from him?
100%.
I don't know.
Okay. I believe he does.
I don't know.
Believe he does. Finished ahead of him in the Derby. Finished at the wire with him the Belmont and wins the Breeders' Cup Classic. He's 3-year-old champ.
Essential Quality has a Classic.
Well, don't
win.
forget, 50% of the voters only think there's one day of racing a year. Can we move on?
Yeah, we can.
Miles D is going to be tough. But I do want to say, wow, you've got Auburn Hills 4th.
Yes, I do.
Okay. How many lunch can I bet you he beats a Shar?
I need a price on that.
3-1.
Yeah,
6 to 2. 6 to 2,
6 to
4
2.
over
Yeah,
2.
man, sure.
I know Wayne Potts is back in the program, and you must
Absolutely.
have, when you saw Wayne's name in there, you
got
must have got
giddy.
all hot and
I got
bothered. You
giddy.
must have just been so excited.
I got giddy.
Let
I
me
was
tell you something.
verklempt.
This horse, what did I say, 6 to 2? Yeah, whatever. Give you a shot. This horse is in great form. I have no idea what you would like about this horse. Ashar has absolutely no chance near. He's literally the worst horse in the race. He was on a gold rail last time and beat Mr. Briggs,
Okay.
who came back and lost to you and I in a horse suit. Twice. Not once, but twice.
You are fired up about
Well,
this.
you and this Wayne Potts nonsense.
Hey.
If you stopped picking Wayne Potts horses, your
him
ROI
first.
would certainly go
Excuse
up
me.
like
I
20 or
didn't put
30
him
cents.
second. I put him
You had
third.
every single one of his runners at Belmont in the money,
Ay,
except
ay,
for the one
ay.
that you were supposed to bet on that
Leave
won.
me
Is that true or
alone. Leave
false?
me
Is that
alone.
true or false? You not deserve abuse for that.
Is it Thursday?
You
yet?
deserve abuse for that.
Is it Thursday? Yet?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to rush to Thursday.
You're going to miss me. Who you kidding?
I am gonna
Who you
miss you,
lying to?
yes.
Race number 5, we move on. Starts the pick 6, by the way. We'll look at it.
There were only 4 covered yesterday, huh? Is that accurate?
I have a question. Yes, they ran 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is it advise and consent? Isn't it usually advice and consent, or is it advise and consent?
You know what's funny?
I meant to ask Seth this.
You know what's funny? You bring this up. I thought it was advised and advice
No, you're
and
probably
consent.
right.
No. I thought it was advice and consent too.
So did
thought
I.
You thought.
One thing I'm going to say about it,
You think Seth made a
advise and
mistake?
consent. I don't think he necessarily made a mistake. Maybe there was a. First of all, we may be wrong, but also he may have a reason for doing it.
No, we're not wrong, Andy. Come on.
This horse basically spent almost the whole race on the rail, and this was during the gold rail period in the track. Now, in fairness, Crimea River should have won. You picked him. You were dead right. He didn't win, but he should have won. He was much the best in
Ran
the
very
Carl place,
well
and I didn't like him at
Friday.
all. He ran very, very well. But this horse was down the inside, and did I put up the Chad? I don't think I put up the Chad Brown's number because they're very. Chad Brown is around 25, 26% stretching turf maidens. He's 13 for 51 in their second starts. The ROI is $1.58 because they're all over bet. So I think the idea is you're supposed to pick against this horse, even though he is the horse to beat. But he had an awful lot going for him first time out. And why are we so confident he's going to get an extra 5/16 of a mile?
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Come on, Anthony. That's just nonsense.
I don't think that's gonna be an
you
issue,
you
Andy.
just randomly decide when
You just
distance
talked
matters.
you just talked about a 26% stat.
Doesn't matter.
On the
With a
stretch.
$1.58 ROI on a horse that's 2-to-1 morning line, and it'll struggle to be that price. And by the way, if you bet 2-to-1 shots and they win 25% of the time, you know what you do? You lose.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
You lose. So
Okay,
don't give me
you're
that
right.
crap.
Let me ask you
You're
a
being
question.
ridiculous.
Let me ask you a question. Let's knock 8 points off the fig. Let's knock 8. Let's make it a 7.
He's in a lot of trouble then.
Yours.
He's not winning this race to 70.
Without any improvement.
I don't know that he necessarily rates to improve stretching out. That's my problem with him.
Okay.
He closed, and that, by the way, once again, all the times are actually fairly
you wanna
accurate.
have the-
This
if
race
that-
pace was fast. No, the pace was faster. They actually went 21:55, 44:61 according to Trackus. So ignore that 46. This was not a slow pace that he closed into. It was a quick pace.
Okay.
He ran well, but it was not a slow pace.
Okay.
They obviously didn't come home in 22, and this was making up ground. It's just silly. You know,
Okay.
these inaccurate times are a problem. He can win, Anthony. You saying to me, I don't think it'll be a problem. You're Mr. Distance, but yet, where it actually matters the most on turf, it never matters
The
to
way
you.
he finished.
Never matters to you.
The way he
Doesn't
finished.
matter in dirt, but it
he's
matters
by
in turf.
tourist out of a war for a minute. I can't imagine a mile and a 16th is going to
So
be an
why do you
issue.
run him at 6 furlongs first time out?
I don't know.
It's not exactly a Chad Brown move. Not a big
I don't
move of
know.
him. Not a big move for him to sprint and stretch him out this significantly.
I
second
don't
time.
have an answer for you.
Okay. He's a favorite. I think he's a little bit questionable. He's the horse to beat. I'm betting North Carolina. This horse took a ton of money in a race he had absolutely no chance in last time because he was working really well on the dirt. Well, you know what? He worked really well on the dirt, but he's a turf horse. I know he didn't run well in his first start. That was also a yielding turf, that June 27th race. You see that final time of 124. That's when the times were accurate. That was a race where it poured before the race, and that course had taken a lot of give. So maybe that's what affected this horse. Getting on the turf, I'm giving this guy one more chance.
Okay.
He took enough money. But there are other horses in here. I mean, why is Rock Sugar ran a 69 buyer against Public Sector as a 2-year-old? Why can't he improve from there and run a figure in the mid to high 70s? I mean, you say take 8 points off Advice and Consent, like he's a fait accompli if that happens. What about Aruba?
I think
Took money first time?
Yeah.
Chased a horse that wired the field? Why can't he win?
took money, chased, and that was a pretty good pace considering the course condition that day. And this horse, he didn't get tired until very late in the game. Yeah, I mean, I think he's dangerous. I mean, he's a 4-year-old making his second start at the end of October. But
Advice and Consent is a 3-year-old. I mean, I mean, listen. You don't act like this is a bad field on paper. There's a lot. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Please the Pharaoh. I don't like Please the Pharaoh, but why can't he have reasonable improvement off the layup? Conquer the World's $1.5 million yearling. The horse on the rail.
You have him fourth. What's wrong with Rock Sugar? We
already covered him. We already covered him.
Okay.
You weren't listening, but we covered him. I said he ran behind Public Sector, and if he improves.
I didn't hear you say that. I apologize. I think I was staring at the North Carolina race. I was trying to remember.
You okay?
That day. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, you sure?
I believe Yes and Yes won that day. The day North Carolina. I'm trying to remember the day. I believe it was Yes and Yes won the third or fourth race.
No, that was. You may be right.
I think he did.
Wow.
I was trying to remember that day.
Yeah, but
this
it rained.
This horse took insane money last time.
It rained in the middle of the card.
Yeah, it rained
didn't
like
rain
the
before
fourth
the
race.
it rained before this race.
Yep.
All right, that's the first 5. Lots more fun and games after a quick break.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit NairaBets.com.
We have conflicting reports on Advise and Advice, but we think that the advice of the Senate, Advice and Consent.
Advice and Consent is of the Senate. There was a movie Advise and Consent back in the early '60s.
That doesn't.
I'm going with.
There's going to have to be a conversation taking place after the show. Yeah,
I don't disagree.
Yeah, we're going to straighten this out.
Send my regards and tell them that
you can be here anyway. Race number 6. Race number 6. We'll move on to the races at hand. Digital software. Wow, got him 4th.
Here we go.
No, I don't. I'm not in love with this horse. I know Bailout's a lifetime loser, but he's not a bad horse.
Right.
And
he's a
I'm going to show
horse.
you a funny Chad Brown stat after we show this horse. I don't love this horse, but I don't mind the post. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't like too many horses in this race, so I think this horse can win. Right back. And the truth is, he consistently runs figures that put him in the mixed, and Chad Brown's numbers are really amazing. Off of maiden wins on the turf, in turf routes, in claiming races.
Wow.
He's also 7 for 9. One of them was DQ'd. DQ here last spring, summer.
Oh, I remember.
IRAD came out,
yep.
right. I mean, it's a legitimate DQ, but he was DQ'd. One of them was like off a big layoff, and I think the other one might have run second. One was off 254 days.
One of them was the horse that came back to win. Molino?
No, I don't know. No, the claiming race, he was probably in start allowance. Those are horses that came into claiming races.
Oh, okay.
These horses have won. I'm not in love with this horse, but I think he's more dangerous. Why do you like the 6, the same horse that I like?
I mean, that race last time, this horse just got cooked up from a tough post in a real fast pace. And I don't know, I thought the maiden race 2 back made this horse a player.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Better,
he's supposed to be forward here.
Better draw today.
You never know. But
right.
No, I agree. You and I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
He's a horse that's a little dressed down.
This was closing Sunday, I believe.
Dressed down,
right?
by that pace last time.
Yep.
The other thing is, Tolfaris, the 3, who is probably the favorite and probably the right favorite. I got to tell you something. Well, that's a Rustler, by the way, who did win the stake here on Friday, which probably moves him up. This is an odd smell, this horse being in for 30. Now he is a 5-year-old. We're heading to the end of turf season.
He's a gelding.
But
Jimmy Bond doesn't go to
30
Florida.
30,000? There's no question they're getting claimed for 30. If they found a 50,
This horse is gone.
it's not 100%
For
this horse should be
30,000,
gone.
this horse is gone.
Oh, they're lining up already to claim this horse.
100%. Yes.
So that worries me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. This horse, they sprinted this horse last time. He had never sprinted in the States. At the
He ran
very
well.
least. He ran well enough, and now he's going to get.
He lost to that attorney Tim. Those horses are
Yeah.
okay. The horse
Yep.
that beat up 3 back, that race 3 back, he'll drown this field.
I can
drown this field if he wins that race.
I can understand some skepticism here because he ran well enough against good
Yeah.
horses last time that now it's just like, claim me. I mean, this was a flashing sign. Claim me, claim me. But I think you made a lot of valid points about this time of year.
But here's the
You're
thing.
going to see this.
They run him in the 8th race on Thursday, and he runs last. Then he's damaged goods, and maybe it's not as easy to get rid of him. That's the problem. That's why
They're
I'm worried
lining up
about
to
it.
claim him today.
Right, and he's the horse to beat. I don't deny it. Made My Day. I'm not a big Made My Day fan. I don't know what went on with this horse last time because this horse was barely ridden in the last 3/8 of a mile in that race. Something must have gone wrong, though, clearly.
Right.
We'll see if he runs better because the reality is without his last race, he's clearly a major player in here. He
But
is
his
1
last
for 12.
his last race is that troubling.
It is, but we'll see. We'll see. I think he's going to run better today. A lot better in here. I just don't want anybody else in this race. As much as I respect Danny Gargan, what did Prefect do last time?
Nothing.
I know the race collapsed, but he was in the move there. He had a good trip, and he just had nothing in the stretch. I guess not impossible. We'll see. See what happens in race number 6.
His better figs are going long 2 mile and the
Race number
marathon
7.
distances.
Number 7. Number 9. Oh, busting my groove. Oh, please.
I had a tough time with this race.
Clearly.
I had a tough time with
Clearly.
this race. I wanted a horse that was going to be a little bit of a price. I like the trainer switch to Bob Casares off the claim. Look, they claimed
Oscar's actually had a pretty good year. His horses have run fine this year.
Yeah, I know, but I like.
This is a trainer that had no. Let's be fair.
No, what?
This is a
I'm just
trainer.
saying I like the
let me-
trainer
let-
change.
Okay, you're going to a trainer that's 13 for 111 from a trainer that's 11 for 93. Anthony, you're going to a trainer that has a lower win percentage than the trainer he had, and there were past years where no, it's fair is fair. If we're going to knock trainers, fair is fair. This is a trainer.
It's my opinion.
It's not a question of opinion, Anthony.
Sure, it is.
Okay, I'm going to finish this, no matter how much you keep
Go
going on.
ahead.
Let me know when I can finish.
No, go ahead. But it's not going to change my mind.
Well, I know nothing changed your mind. It doesn't matter how many bad opinions you throw out. You never rethink them. Forgetting about that, Oscar Barrera in past years has struggled. No question about it. Not this year. His horses have run fine this year.
Yeah, he's been fine.
So the reality is you're thinking, I want a horse that have a trainer change that's going from a trainer that has the exact same win percentage as the guy he's going to. With all due respect to Bob Casares.
I like the trainer change.
Okay, but it doesn't bear
And
out based on the numbers.
This horse is in a race.
It just doesn't bear out during the numbers.
This horse. Thursday.
No,
Where
it's
are you
not. It's not
Thursday?
fair. It's not fair to Oscar, and it's not fair. You're saying you like a trainer change based on what?
On an overall body of work, I would rather bet on a horse trained by Bob Casares.
Who's
than Oscar
1 for
Barrera
24
III.
off the claim
That's
if you
fine.
lose the short
That's
numbers.
Fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Listen, like I said, I had a tough time with the race. I
Clearly.
didn't really want to lean on the horses
horse can
that are
win.
going to take a lot of money. And I think
Well,
the two
Miss
outside horses are going to take a bulk of the money.
Miss
here.
Pepina is a problematic horse because she's lost races at short prices. She's just not supposed to lose. In Todd Pletcher's barn, this horse can win, but I agree with you. You're supposed to pick against it. Listen, if East Wing shows up with her last race and gets a competent ride, she's going to win this race. I'll show you the last race where she didn't get a competent ride. The problem with her is that she has been scratched about 4 or 5 times. Finally, she's able to get into a race and obviously, I would assume, pass the vet. It's a horse that was cruising up forward here, just cruising up in a slow-paced race, cruising up. What decision the rider went from here to where this horse ended up, what the thought process would be to do this, I got to tell you, it's a little tough to figure out, isn't it, Anth?
And it happens so often.
I mean, how is
I don't know.
better to go from where the horse was, and you can see this horse is not being asked at all, it's not like that, to completely steadying out now in the turn, instead of being in front, completely steadying out, losing that position, and believe it or not, it actually gets worse from here. This was an historically bad ride and historically poor judgment.
This is what happens when you lose position.
Right, when you don't
This is what
take
happens.
advantage of position that you've been given. Given. You had that position in front of the horse in the red right now.
This is sideways.
I mean, this is just
Head was sideways. for about a
really
16th of a mile.
unfortunate.
I've never seen that.
And just unfortunate. Doesn't want to go through inside, get steadied from there.
Well, I mean, at that point, can you blame her for not wanting to go forward? I mean, really.
This is a how-to primer of how not. This is a how not to primer.
And the funny thing is, once she gets off the inside, she's actually
Correct.
She's actually running through the wire again.
Anyway, a lot of people watching trips have been waiting for this horse to come back. Honestly, though, she's a little tough to trust because she was scratched, I don't know, 4 times. That seems like at least 3 or 4 times.
At the very least, the filly I picked, and she might not be much, but she has the recency over the 2 horses.
Your horse can win. I'm teasing you, but your horse can win. She's supposed to be forward in this race.
Cherokee Song's the little bit of the wild card, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the horses are running a little bit from Randy's barn right now.
Well, they randomly run.
Well,
One
I'm
of them
just
is
saying,
Happy Sophia.
It's going to be a big, this horse is going to be a big price in a race where do you really trust anybody?
Without Happy Sophia, he's 16.001. So let's not get carried away.
true,
No
too.
disrespect meant,
Couple
Randy.
of good Mike Luzzy rides right
Yeah,
there.
but I agree with. Listen, I put the horse third. I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, there's an argument that oddly this is the most sort of logical horse if you're against the 8. A little tough to put this one on top though.
Yes,
See
it
what
is.
happens.
Yes, it is.
He says, Steve says East Wing scratched 3 times. I feel like it was 4 though, but it's at least 3.
Still, I mean,
Race number 8. He's got the dates: 7, 28, 8, 12, and 9, 2. I thought there were
thought
1 or 2
I
at
thought there
Belmont.
were-
No,
I
he's
agree.
wrong. There's been at least 1 at Belmont.
I was going to say
think.
2 Saratoga,
Maybe
2
not.
Belmont.
No, but maybe he's right. Maybe they were all Saratoga.
All
Anyway,
Saratoga.
I got to tell you something. I struggled a great deal with race number 8. Now, obviously, Command Point and Exotic West. Command Point for a second. Obviously, the horse you want out of this race is Exotic West. This was also not the best of rides. I will say that, and this was another case of just badly losing position that you had. Was she lugging in a little bit in the stretch?
I thought the last couple of times where she was making up a tremendous amount of ground at the end, she might have been
lugging in a little bit. He's hitting a righty. It's not helping, but
Right.
she is lugging in, to be fair to Eric, but he did lose position once again in here. Here's my problem with this horse. I don't like Command Point at all. Obviously, if I want one of them, I want the Exotic West or the Trip. My problem is this was an extremely fast pace that was collapsing. And I don't want Command Point at all. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And these George Weaver horses are running tremendously right now. And so betting against him is probably stupid on my part. One of many stupid things. I don't know. I don't trust that race. I also, do you not like that the winner came back and ran so badly the other day?
Here is, obviously, I like the race because I put them 1-2. This is the kind of race, though, I can see you not like.
Exotic West will not be 6-1, David. Stop dreaming.
So I can absolutely see taking a stand.
Maybe with
against-
Mike Luzzy, maybe more.
I
but
can
Mike Luzzy's
absolutely
fine.
see taking a stand against the race. I don't. I like the. I like the race, especially. I think Exotic West probably should have won her last 2 races, but yes, I think. I
Yeah,
like
you're
the
probably
race.
right about that.
I like the race. So
Okay, I don't like the race. I don't like the closers in the race. And I don't like the fact that the speed came back and ran badly. I said that. They're obviously not impossible, and I've got Exotic West third. The race I don't like is the Lido Key race. I don't like the race that horse comes out of. I think that was a real stinker. You've got the horse fourth. I don't want it. And I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want. I certainly don't want Ocean Air from last time. You've got those 1, 2, 3 from that race. I disagree. I think the strongest race they're coming out of is the Giggle Factory Gambling Cat race, and we'll take a look at that. They lost Doris Princess Fausia, who's now come back and won 2 straight races.
she's the favorite for the Breeders' Cup filly in Mad Turf.
Right. She won $102,000 since she wasn't claimed for $35,000 this race. I didn't like Gambling Cat in here, and they bet like they knew. And she ran a little better than she expected to, but didn't get it done. I don't trust her to mile 16th. Maybe it's far for her. I found a funny Mark Casse stat because I saw this horse getting claimed, and I thought, Mark Casse claimed this horse? The guy never claims horses. He's claimed very few horses, and so the stats actually the last 4 years. And he's had a lot of success with the horses that he has claimed, particularly on turf, where he's 3 for 9. This is actually the last 4 years. I just thought it was kind of interesting. I do think Giggle Factory's actually off his last race. If I totally trust his last race, the horse to beat, I can't bet him back at 4-5 to 1 after being 33 to 1 last time.
Right.
Her. But I actually like that race. I think that's the best race. Don't you think that's the best race any of these are coming out of?
Maybe. It might be.
You can get that off.
It might be.
I'm curious what the morning line this race
Always
is.
rooting for Rob.
Yeah, that's where we differ. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You think he's a nicer guy than I do. He's very questionable. It's not even. I don't think he can't come out today. Actually, I spoke to him yesterday. He's a lovely
I
man.
haven't spoke to him in a while.
Well, 8-1 morning line. Giggle Factory's 8-10 to 1. I think she's a play. I like the two.
I'm on a lot of
pay.
pay no mind lists lately. It's all right. It's fine.
Race number 9. I don't have a good feel for the point of entry. I will say, I have a good feel for point of entry. I love point of entry.
Me too.
What a horse he was.
I have a very,
What a horse he was.
I have a very strong opinion.
What a horse he was. At
Yeah,
point
he
of
was.
entry.
He was good.
Yeah, he really was. When he beat Animal Kingdom, I couldn't believe he was 2-1, and Animal Kingdom was even money. I thought he should have been favored. Wasn't that he beat him, right?
I was at
Beat him at Gulfstream.
I was snowed in at Mohegan Sun.
Who was the horse who was third? The gray for Tom Bush, the New York bred.
Oh, the New York bred.
Ultimate. Started with.
he
Went
went
to
over
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started with a U.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh man.
You know, I need him for a monster score in Saratoga in his turf debut in a maiden race, and he got beat. He lost here in a second.
That was the week I was, like I said, I was snowed in Connecticut.
What was that horse's name?
Nothing was open.
Really good horse.
Watched the race in my hotel room.
Did he win like
Yeah.
the 3-year-old stakes? Like could he have won the Hill Prince or something like that? Ramon rode him. Didn't he have a big, maybe the Saranac? He
won-
wanted a
I
big
think he
price.
won the
Like,
Saranac.
yeah, at a big price with Ramon. Yeah, he was a really nice horse. So you have a big opinion
I
of
love
this
Tide
race.
of the Sea today.
Okay, here's Tide of the Sea beating Shamrock when they ran second and third. And the reason I showed this race is I think it sums up Shamrock. He just runs to his competition. He should have beaten Tide of the Sea in here. Are you, though, convinced that Tide of the Sea is the speed? Because with the scratch of Gotcha,
say that again?
isn't Tide of the Sea a better horse than he can control? I mean, I know he's rated, but he totally Unbridled Command. Unbridled Command. Why do you love him today? Why do you love
Did you
him?
say Mogac's out?
No,
No.
I said Mogotch's the speed.
Right. Yeah, I like him having the target. I like him with the target. I think he sits a trip like he sat last time.
But
and he's a horse.
But he was 6-5 last time. He beat
Okay.
Hierarchy.
He's a horse
Better the
that
target.
he's a horse that likes to win, as opposed to a horse like Shamrocket who
don't disagree.
does not.
I don't
And I
disagree.
think when you take his tactical speed and you take that intangible into it, I think it gives him a decided edge today.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with David's line. I thought Tide of the Sea would be favored. I picked him. I don't love him. Bluegrass Parkway beat him 2 races back for Bluegrass Parkway and 3 races back for Tide of the Sea. Now, I will say that he got involved in a pace duel here, and Bluegrass Parkway got a better trip. I think Bluegrass Parkway is dangerous in here. I won't be surprised if he upsets these horses. I know he seems to run only randomly well, but he runs this race here. I thought he had a chance. The rest of his races, though, are not good enough to win.
But
this
that's
race.
his problem, right?
I know. No, you're right.
That's his problem. This one and that race sticks out like a sore thumb because his other races, barely make him a player in here.
What happens if Beacon Hill improves with distance?
Beacon Hill's interesting, and that could happen.
Clearly, it could happen.
I don't.
Well, if he improves with distance, he's going to win this race.
Yeah.
He's running figures that are competitive. He's improved. His last 3 races are all fast figures. I mean, yes, he was with the track 3 back, with the flow of the race 3 back. He won a race at 3-5 at Laurel. But I don't think he's impossible. I'll be honest with you. I have no feel for this race.
Yeah, I love Tide of the Sea.
Okay, I don't. I think he's okay. I think you're overly aggressive with him. I think this race is any of these 4 horses can win. Probably I should have Beacon Hill higher. I probably should have him second. The more I look at him, I am not feeling strongly about my opinion. Anthony is race number 10. So if Remember Mom, as we head to the replay, your big tip finally came to fruition almost.
Almost.
If Remember Mom runs a 75 buyer, isn't he going to win this race?
Yes. He is. He absolutely is.
Where
Thought
did
he was
it
going to win this.
where did
Thought
it
he
come-
was going
where
to
did
get
it
the
come
job done
from?
here. I don't know.
He lost to a heavy favorite.
He did. Yes, he did.
I don't know. I don't trust him. There's also other speed in this race, and that's the problem. Who'd you pick on top here?
Him.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Me and you have me. I mean,
I picked against Suit Armor. These horses seem to win. He's a terrible short price in here, Suit Armor.
Terrible short price,
But
right?
these horses seem to win.
he does seem though, Andy. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
but he
fine.
does seem to be, and we say this a lot here. why was this horse on? This horse doesn't have a particularly strong turf pedigree. Why was this horse on turf for first restarts? Could it be that he just can't run on dirt? And now that's a big problem for a horse who's probably destined to be under 2 to 1 in
You
here.
could be making a great point.
Right or
I
wrong?
agree. No, I agree. Right or wrong?
In
all fairness, Miss Catalyst, the dam was a very nice turf horse. Right, 94 buyer. That's why she was on turf.
He's a frosted. I mean, I got it.
But let me say something about Frosted. No, I'm not impressed by him as a sire, to say the least. I don't think anybody would be. We see a lot of them on the turf.
They're running trainers are putting a lot of
But
these.
maybe it's
horses
because
on
they're not showing him anything in the dirt.
I guess.
Here's my thing. Why are you breeding Miss Catalyst to Frosted?
I don't have an answer for you.
Why are you breeding to a horse that was a very good dirt horse?
No answer.
That's the question I have, and
answer.
I'm no breeding expert.
No answer, buddy.
That to me is the question. I'm going to try Caden. Caden's dropping down. Chase Fenway, who was an obvious, overwhelming favorite winner last time out, showed enough last time. Thought could be forward here. I probably should have had Swinton fourth. The one. I always like Rick Schosberg, first-time stars. Rick Schosberg, by the way, going to be doing a little duty with us, I believe, on the show coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
Looking forward to that. I like Rick. And he's sharp. He was on actually once before, and I think he picked a winner. I think he did one race. He may have picked a winner. So he's got a good record on the line. Listen, there was a time when Rick Schosberg was probably as dangerous with first-time stars
Good as it gets.
as any trainer in the game. He just doesn't have the horses anymore.
Correct.
But I picked one of his horses the other day at first. It ran second, right, to that heavy favorite, and then New York bred race ran well. Probably could have won.
Biggish price.
Yeah, like 10 to 1 or something.
Yeah.
Made a big run to run second, 10, 11 to 1.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I love the digs in here.
I'll see you.
I'll see you 2 weeks or a week from Thursday. Oh, no. Yeah, a week from Thursday. Yeah, we'll be here. I'll be taping those Breeders' Cup preview videos. That's the 4th of November?
That's the 4th, yeah.
4th of November. What are you dressing up for as Halloween?
Whatever they want me to.
No, you've got something in mind, right?
I always have something.
I'm dressing up. I'm really?
I like to dress up.
I'm going as Bobby Cladd, our producer.
So that's a worn baseball cap.
Right. I'm going to borrow some digs from clothes from him. I'm not big on Thanksgiving. On Halloween. I like Thanksgiving on Halloween. I'm not big on Halloween.
Really? I can't believe
when
it.
Did Halloween? No, it's fine for kids. When did it become an adult holiday? That's what I'm not big on.
When you can drink, Andy. When people
You can drink 365 days a year and 366 on leap year.
I'm going to put this. As
Did they not
clearly as-
know?
I think once the provocative costume line started coming
That's what it
out,
was?
I think that's what it was. I think
I respect the Halloween
that's what it
parade.
was.
Do you know that there was a story in New York one. There was a guy who put up the money for them to run the parade in New York. Yeah, it's kind of cool, actually. Anyway.
What are you dressing up as? Anything?
No, I'll be back in New York.
Curmudgeon?
I'll be hiding in my apartment so kids can't come by and get the candy that I'm not giving.
Oh, come on. I used to sit out front, in front of the house, my house in Howard Beach, hand out candy, and I would read Edgar Allan Poe all day.
Was it one for them and two for me? What was it?
No.
Okay.
I would purposely,
Really?
Mom would purposely buy stuff that I didn't like. So there was no peanut butter cups around. There was no Snickers around. We went old school.
She should have done more of that.
We were an old school house, like the Smarties and the Sweet Tarts. Like you came to my house, you got Tootsie Roll. Like you got the old school candy. You didn't get this, kid pack stuff. You got the real stuff.
My mom made me some amazing costumes. The Batman costume as a kid was one of the great costumes ever. I would have outgrown it, so I can't still wear it.
I was Hulk Hogan a few years.
Of course you were.
Of course I was. I'm
Really?
still Hulk Hogan.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're looking great. No, not at all. Not at all. Anyway,
Pythons are up with
head over to
23
Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, think of how much fun you've just had and say to yourself, shouldn't I be joining Naira Bets after all the fun I just had with these two idiots? Use the promo code CUP25. You get a free $25 Breeders' Cup play along with a $200 deposit match bonus. Play through Naira Bets. Support the game and racing in New York. We have a 50-50-50 with Woodbine, Gulfstream, and Belmont. Between them, you have, you've got 2 dirt courses, 4 turf courses, and 2 synthetic courses.
No, more than that. 5 turf courses.
Are there 2 at Woodbine?
Yes, sir. An inner and the EP Taylor. The inner, I want to say,
yeah, but are they
is 7.
are they separated? Or are they different?
They're separate. They use them. They're separated by the poly.
Oh, okay.
There's an
Oh,
inner
you're right,
turf.
you're right.
There's the old harness track.
You're right. So
with
that's
all the harness moved to
5,
Mohawk.
5, 2, and 2. Wow. There you have it. Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Just a font of information.
Yes.
Opt in. for that bonus.
Have to opt in to everything.
12:30 to 5:30, America's Day at the races. 2:30 to 2 on FS2. I'll be on early, Maggie, and then a little Acacia. Acacia, and I believe Jonathan Kinchin, and of course Richard Migliori also will be with us. Crew is here. Greg has a week off, a well-deserved week off, especially because he's got to get ready to be on the show with you. I'm going to speak to him, make sure he does not behave himself, contrary to his normal nature. Yeah, I'm going to give him a little pep.
Do you leave instructions
No.
on how to deal with me?
No. I am going to speak
Don't feed the talent.
I'm going to speak to Maggie, though. I'm going to speak to her today about that.
I already got to Maggie. Me and Maggie are good.
Yeah, well, Maggie and I are stronger than
My
you.
Khaleesi.
We are. We've been together.
My
longer
racing
than you
Khaleesi.
guys.
That's
Anyhow, we're done. It's been a great pleasure. John Imbrial, the voice of New York racing, will be up next with a reprise, The Scratches and Changes.